Hello, and welcome to DM Quick Tips, bite-sized videos of tips and tricks for new and experienced Dungeon Masters alike. Today I'll be covering how to include character backstories into your campaign organically in a way that makes sense to the story, whether it's a published material or your own homebrew setting. Stay tuned. So, during session 0, your players are creating their characters and they're coming up with these big elaborate backstories for them. Or maybe they're just making a crewman number 6 type character who doesn't have more than a sentence or two to describe who their character is and where they came from. Both of these approaches are fine, and you as the Dungeon Master should work with these players during character creation. Engage with your players, take interest in their character creation, and help them develop future goals for their character. That may be the most important thing when including a character backstory into a campaign. Sure, background and where the characters came from are important, but it can be tough to build character development when there's no clear end goal. Ask your players, what's a short-term goal for your character and what's an endgame goal? Maybe their endgame goal is part of their backstory. For example, my village was burned down by a hooded wizard. I've spent all my time since hunting down the mysterious wizard. Simple, but there's a lot we can include here into the campaign story as a whole and have it still make sense. If you're running a published module, take a look at a few of the minor NPCs that aren't super important to the story. Can one of them be changed to a hooded wizard? See what I'm getting at here? Maybe some townsfolk have heard rumors of the village being burned down and there were no survivors. That kind of goads your players into asking about it and saying, well, wait, I was a survivor. Have people not heard of me? And then you can build from there. Now, you as the DM have to exercise some creativity here. However, if you continue to work with the players throughout, it will be easier than you think. One last thing to keep in mind when incorporating player character backstory into your campaign is to see the player's goals realized, either good or bad. Maybe that hooded wizard gets away and the character learns that he was blinded by his vengeance and learns to let go. Maybe it's an encounter midway through the campaign and the player finally gets his revenge against the wizard. Once a player's goals have been realized, work with them on what happens next. What are their future goals? What does the character do now that they've accomplished something that they've set out to do? Continue to work with your players to develop their character, and I promise you, you will be rewarded with some of the best moments D&D has to offer. Comment below and tell me, have you ever incorporated a character's backstory into your campaign? If you did, how did your players respond? Thanks for joining me in the first episode of DM Quick Tips. Please consider liking and subscribing and leaving a comment letting me know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future. Stay tuned for the next episode of DM Quick Tips where we'll be covering why Session 0 is important. Take care.